All right, welcome back. Time to talk weather on this very gray Monday. It was so gray, actually, that when I walked outside, I thought it was going to be colder.
Yeah.
It was actually really, really warm.
I always talk about it. The moisture and the cloud cover does a great job of keeping us very warm overnight.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we have. And also that wind that was whipping around last night does a couple of things. It advects in warmer temperatures.
Ooh, look at that.
And that's rain.
Yeah.
A little bit to start it all off. It advects in warmer temperatures and it also stirs the low levels of the atmosphere. But as we head through the rest of the evening, we get a full-on atmospheric river setting up. That plays a huge role in how much rain we see and just how warm it gets. We talked about the flooding potential a bit last week, and now here we are looking at that flooding potential working its way in. We have flood watches in effect for Northeast Washington and North Idaho. It's going to be heavy rain on top of melting snow. Biggest concern for the flooding is going to be in rivers, creeks, streams, poor drainage areas, and if you do get it, potentially that water going into your basement. We have the moisture all the way from down to the south. You basically trace it from halfway to Hawaii all the way back up in. And that's already dumping some moisture across parts of central Washington and some heavy moisture at that, working its way through, say, Yakima up toward Moses Lake now, but then stretching up north into Colville and Chewelah and eventually into Bonners Ferry. But a little bit of a break if you make your way toward Sandpoint, seeing some of that moisture through Coeur d'Alene, Spokane on the dry side of things. But watch what happens here. We eventually get this moisture to move in. It is heavy as it works its way in, and the heavy rain that comes down really does a number because for a lot of areas, we still have that snow on the ground. If you get up into the mountains, all of that snow is going to melt. This is one of the most efficient ways for us to melt snow. So that will continue to melt. Eventually, we wind up seeing it move through. But notice it's basically overnight for us here in Spokane. The heaviest rain starts around 10 p.m. and the heaviest rain stops around 6 a.m. tomorrow. Then as we get into the day, it's a mix of clouds and sun and some scattered showers popping up in the afternoon. Those have the potential to potentially bring a rumble of thunder and then eventually work their way out. How much rain are we talking? A decent amount. Up in those flood watch areas, the better part of a half an inch, maybe even more. Spokane could get about a quarter of an inch. Coeur d'Alene, about a half an inch down across the Palouse. A little bit less, believe it or not. Less than about a 2/10 of an inch is what we'll call it. Windy tomorrow. That wind is going to continue to blow throughout the day. Wednesday, we get a storm kind of moving through. I'm going to go ahead and maybe call that one mostly cloudy. A bulk of the moisture stays to our south. Thursday, we'll see a little more sun, and then it's just kind of a mix of clouds and sun taking us through the week as temperatures, well, they soar.
And look at all that sunshine.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.